The United States has asked China to join US President Donald Trump's Board of Peace. The White House wants dozens of countries on this body aimed at resolving conflicts, starting with the war in Gaza. Beijing confirmed it received the invitation but did not say whether it will accept or reject the offer. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Guo Jiakun says that China hopes to keep ties with Washington stable while protecting its own interests. The Board of Peace would be chaired for life by Trump, and countries would serve 3-year terms unless they contribute $1 billion each. Key members include former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and World Bank President Ajay Banga. Further members are expected in the coming weeks. Andrew KP Leung joins us now. Andrew, of course, China has accepted this invitation. It is, after all, the second biggest economy in the world. However, what are both the positives and negatives of Beijing joining Donald Trump's Board of Peace?
Well, as you reported, China hasn't really formally accepted this invitation. In a way, that this peace plan, the so-called 20-point peace plan, is a poison chalice in the sense that it doesn't address the fundamental demands of the Palestinians, which of course is the whole the whole force behind the Hamas insurgency. Because Hamas didn't happen all of a sudden. It is a means to push the long-standing agenda for the Palestinians for statehood, and yet Israel is dead against any kind of suggestion of a Palestinian statehood, and that's supported by, of course, the Jewish lobby in the United States, and American geopolitics. So, without addressing this fundamental issue, the so-called peace plan is not going to be to solve the problem over in Palestine. And the other issue, which has not been addressed, of course, is the West Bank. The West Bank has been occupied by Israel, and also including all the water resources, and also threatening the continuing livelihood and survival of the Palestinians, a lot of Palestinians. So these two fundamental issues have been swept under the carpet, and Trump's invitation to China is to bring more people onto this flawed bandwagon, so as to add gravitas to this claim to control the whole situation without addressing the fundamental challenges.
And Andrew, of course, a lot of experts and analysts have said that this Board of Peace brings danger to the United Nations. How do you think China will choose when it comes to this? Does it value the United Nations?
Of course, China supports the United Nations, the Charter, sovereignty, the sovereignty over the country, particularly in relation to Taiwan, which is regarded as a part of the China nation. And China always adheres to it, and is even threading a very thin line as regards Ukraine, because there's also transgression of country sovereignty. Don't forget, Ukraine, unlike Taiwan, is a formal country recognized by the United Nations. And so China always opposed the United Nations, but I think the United Nations on this situation in over Gaza is totally powerless. You know what's been happening. Not only over Gaza but over Ukraine and all the other major conflicts, because the major conflicts inevitably involve the great powers, and then the United Nations Security Council is hijacked by this single veto vote. So if it a country, for example, United States, sees a motion is against interest, it will simply veto it. So I think the United Nations is powerless in that on that. But on the other hand, of course, it's a very useful platform for China to press the points accepted by most of the world community, and in that way put pressure on the United States.
Yes, Andrew K.P. Leung, thank you very much for joining us as we move on.